My name is Stephanie Dollins. I'm a patient advisor here at ImageLift. So I've been in aesthetics for many years, and I've been with ImageLift for the last 7 years. I'm so proud to be part of this team. I'm also a patient, and I'm happy to share my personal experience. So this is, oops, I think we're missing a slide here. ImageLift is a center of excellence. We've developed a team approach for your best results. People ask me, why do you work here? Well, let it speak for itself. As a patient, I'm so thrilled with my results, and I want everyone to feel the same way. Again, we're a center of excellence. Dr. Rich is a double board certified facial plastic surgeon. He's been doing face and neck for almost 2 decades now. Would you all agree that it's pretty important to have a specialist when it comes to the face? We only get one and we can't hide it. This is our identity. Dr. Rich has performed over 4,000 ImageLift procedures. Most doctors, by the time they retire, they've maybe done 500 to 1,000. But this is his niche, this is what he does. He's nowhere near done yet. He's performed over 20,000 facial filler syringes, and he's developed a very natural facial sculpting technique that our master injectors use today. And these are our master injectors. Erica, Jennifer, Janice, these ladies are amazing. And when it's combined with Dr. Rich's magic during the procedures, the artistry is unbelievable. These are our estheticians, Maria and Anita. These ladies keep your skin glowing with a full menu of products and services. And we are so proud of Dr. Rich. He is one of Castle Connolly's top doctors. This is the only award where the doctors vote for the best of the best. And Dr. Rich wins so many awards every year. We're so proud of him. He's also the Wall Street Journal bestselling author of the book you were given today with a global audience. He's been published in scientific and academic journals and in book chapters. And he takes a lot of media requests. We'll show you some of that video footage in just a moment, but now if you'll take a second to silence your phones, we'll get started. And now for those highlights.
Castellano is learning something new.
Dr. Rich Castellano money. Dr. Richard Castellano says laser lipolysis Yaski's vote.
Dr. Richard Castellano.
Dr. Rich Castellano, the board-certified facial plastic surgeon, is one of the first in the country to use Google Glasses while he's working on patients.
Dr. Rich Castellano says that's one main reason behind this new trend. Less expensive, less invasive, cosmetic face procedures.
So she turned to Dr. Richard Castellano for an image lift.
Thanks to Dr. Castellano. I just feel like doing that.
Dr. Castellano says he sees black patients like Elizabeth feel they are being discriminated against because of their looks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give a big round of applause to Dr. Rich Castellano.
Thank you, Stephanie. Let's give Stephanie a big hand and our amazing team for putting all this together. I couldn't do it without them. We are so excited to be here, and we are very grateful for the opportunity to share what we get to do every day. I have a question for you. Have you ever looked in the mirror and the reflection you saw looking back at you, it didn't match what you're feeling on the inside? Has that ever happened? If that has happened to you, you are in the right place. Now, thank goodness. So we don't want this experience. It's a real experience. We get in front of the mirror and just physically we feel ourselves dropping, right? So thank goodness for modern medicine. People are living so much longer. That's wonderful. And things start to change. So let me ask you another question. Do appearances, do they matter? Do they make a difference in our life? Do people treat us differently based on how young or how old they think we are, our relationships, our workplace, our family? Who is the most important person that treats us differently based on our appearance? That's right, ourselves. That's right. When mirror, if we're not happy, it brings us down. We influence ourselves. But when we look in the mirror, if our hair looks really good, you got a nice outfit on, you have the best pair of shoes, you look in that mirror and you say, hey, you're looking good. It feels good. It feels good to look good. Appearances do matter, and we'll show you how to do this the right way. We know how important this is to you, whether you have just started thinking about this, or we have patients who have been wanting to do this for years, or maybe you're middle of the road. We have something for you to keep you on track and get you what you're looking for. So, I like to ask about our why. You know, why are you here? I'm very curious. Everybody in this room has a reason why. That you picked up the phone, or you emailed us, or somebody dragged you here, whatever your reason why is, that's really important. Because on this journey, if you feel overwhelmed or confused, or you just need a little break, go back to your why. Your why will guide you to the right answer. People tell me their why. They say, well, I raised my family, now it's my turn. Has anybody here ever raised a family before? Who gets put first in family? The kids, everybody else. Who gets put last? When you raise a family, you're a giver. And you're not going to stop giving because we love our families. We want to keep giving to them. But we can't pour from an empty cup. Right? It's your turn now. In fact, your family, they should be paying for this. Right? So, whatever your reason why, or some of my patients, they have a wedding they're going to, or a reunion, or a graduation, or they just want to invest in themselves, or they got through a medical condition, whatever your reason why is, that will guide you to the right answer. Now people ask me, Dr. Rich, what's your reason why? Why did you decide to just focus on the face? So for me, it started when I was in my training, head and neck surgery. We would cover the emergency room, and the car accidents and gunshot wounds and traumas would come in, and these people, completely unrecognizable. And it was our job to put them back together again. Every single one of these patients, when they got back on their feet and they were out and ready to go again, they all said the same thing. They were so grateful that they could just look normal. They just wanted to look like themselves again. And it really touched me. I love the artistry of the face and neck. I love doing the procedures, and if it made that big of an impact on someone, I said, that's what I want to do. And then we started doing cosmetic treatments, and you could see the difference it made to people's confidence, made them feel good about themselves. I believe everyone should feel good about how they look. So that's my reason why we're here today. That's why I only focus on the face. People ask me, do it in body, tummy tuck, breast, anything like that. We only focus on the face. Now when we're doing the face, if we pull really, really tight sometimes, we get a little, no, just the face, just the face. That's all we get, okay. So I'm in the grocery store. I'm putting my grocery items on the belt, and I look behind me and I see the person, and when I look at them, I have to look at them a second time. Like many of you, if I see something that doesn't look right, I have to look again and figure this out. When I look back, I saw this person, they didn't look very good. They did a treatment and they went too far. Have you seen this? You know what I'm talking about? It bothered me. Like when I looked at them, on the inside, I'm like, I wanted to talk to them and say, who did this to you? What happened? I can help you. But we're in the grocery store, so I didn't say anything. I just, got my groceries and left. And it wasn't the right time for it, really. But it really bothered me. So, in watching TV, when you watch TV today, we have all these reality shows. It seems like in every reality show, someone has to have bad plastic surgery. Well, why? There's so many people we see on TV, it goes too far. And I thought about this. I said, There's 330 million Americans. That's a lot of people. If you look at the data, 5% of them are doing cosmetic treatments. That's about 15 million every year. That's a lot, okay? Now, there's a lot of doctors and providers out there. Thousands of them. They can't all be good. Right? There is a difference. In fact, these are all the providers out there. They're in the bell curve. Most of them, they're average. But you don't want average with face. And you don't want low performer. You don't want beginners or intermediate level. You want this center of excellence. This is the only thing we do. So most doctors, if they're a facelift surgeon, they usually retire after 500 or 1,000 facelifts. And that's a lot. I've done over 4,000. There is a difference. You're going to get different recommendations here than you're going to get different offices. You're going to get different results. And that's why people come to us. So, you're in the right place. At least you've made it here so far. So, we're going to help you avoid the troubles. But I'll tell you, in the grocery store what I saw, and then on reality TV, and I see all these people are doing treatments, it really made me think. And I said, what if we had some system that people could do a treatment and it would protect them, it would guarantee that they would look natural. We need that. So I started searching online. I couldn't find anything. I called my colleagues. I was just in a meeting in Las Vegas. We had over 500 facial plastic surgeons out there talking to people all the time. I talked to my colleagues. There was no system. So I said, all right, I'm just going to make one up myself. I'm going to make it up because people need something. They're not making good decisions. So I created ABCs of plastic surgery. And we're going to go through that here in just a little bit. When I put it all together, all of my experience, all the things patients have been telling me, all the areas where I see patients can potentially go wrong, I put it all into the ABCs. And I put it to the test. I started using it on my patients. And it worked. People started making good decisions. They understood the bigger picture. Because when you understand the bigger picture, you can make a better decision. But the real test, every plastic surgeon has patients that come to them. They're asking for too much. They want too much, and right, your heart starts racing. You're like, uh-oh, we're gonna have a talk here, right? So I would use my ABCs for these patients. It's a difficult patient, and it worked for them too. The light bulb went off in their head, and you could see that they were thinking, okay, maybe that's not a good idea if I want to do all these things. And I'm like, right? So the ABCs help them to do that. And so I am so proud to share this with you so that you can make your best decisions and make the right choices. I believe we should all feel good about how we look, and the ABCs will keep you on track and do things the right way. So we're going to help you avoid the troubles. We're very proud to be leaders in the industry. When I was at this meeting with other doctors, many of those doctors came up to me later because they've been to us for mentoring. I've done trainings with them, and they said they still use our techniques that we taught them years ago in helping them deliver the best patient care. We're very proud to be leaders in the industry. Okay, so we talked about, this is our why question, your reason why. Whatever your reason why is, very important that you remember that, because if you feel stuck, go back to your reason why and it will guide you to the right decision. So, okay, in the next 30 minutes, this is what we're going to cover. And then when we're done, we'll do the one-on-ones. We talked about how, we're going to put a plan together for you. So first of all, we're going to go through pictures. When you see enough pictures, everyone is different, but you'll get an idea of what it can be like for you. We're going to have you talk to patients who have treatments done. Our models, they're wonderful people. Some of you have met them already, but you'll hear from their experience and learn from their experience. We're going to go through, like I said, the ABCs of plastic surgery. This will help you make your best decision. We're going to do the consult before you leave. Even though there's a lot of people here, it doesn't take that long. We'll seat you at the table. My team has it down to a science, so before you leave, you'll have your plan. Now, is anybody here interested in how much these things cost? All right, we're going to go through that too. We're going to go through your investment. So that's what we're covering today. All right. Okay, so this is our reminder. If you get your pens out, you want to take notes, you can take notes on your phone. This is the ABCs of plastic surgery. If you miss anything, don't worry, we'll help you out. You are all going to get a A+ on the test. And there will be a test, because life is our test, and we're going to make sure you make your best decision. So, ABCs of plastic surgery, super basic, super simple. It breaks things down into the most basic components. A stands for area. So there are 4 areas that we address if we want to improve our facial appearance. Number 1, if we sag, then we can tighten. So that's pretty simple. Sagging, we tighten. That's number 1 area. Number 2, when we lose volume, we fill. Now as we get older, what happens to our volume? We get a little hollow and temples, so we put the volume back. Number 3, sun damage, wrinkles, and sunspots, we can polish and repair the skin. Now the 4th area, better than all the others, and that's our behavior. None of our treatments look as good as Mother Nature's free facelift. When we smile, the smile always looks the best. I can't outdo the smile. We like the shape of our face when we smile. It looks good and it feels good, right? So you know how when you do something nice for someone else, it just makes us feel good on the inside? You know what I'm talking about? Do me a favor, I want you to turn to who's next to you, give somebody a big smile, or look up front here and give them a big smile. And you see, don't we look better when we smile? Can you feel the energy in the room change? What's that all about? Let me go back and rewind. Okay, we started out, we were neutral. Then what do we put a smile on our face? And then we share it with the neighbor. And then we get a response. The power of a smile and the power of our appearance. So, the smile is always the best. The smile always looks the best. Okay. B stands for boundaries. What are the rules for good cosmetic treatments? How do you know you're having a good cosmetic treatment? Safety is always first. So this is the safest way to have the treatment done. No general anesthesia, no IV sedation. Safety is always first. You must look natural, and you will. We guarantee it. 100%. We put it in writing. You will not go too far. That's why people come to us. They want to look natural. The best facelift looks like you never had a facelift. The best fillers looks like you never had fillers. I've had plenty of treatments. I'm 85 years old, but nobody You will look natural, we guarantee it. Prevention. Aging is very predictable. We know what's coming. There are no surprises. So if we can prevent and stay ahead of it, that's very powerful. Okay, prevention. And people today, they don't want to wait for more advanced aging changes. So we want to stay ahead as much as we can. And then let's get as much improvement as possible, but we can't make things perfect. We're not God. We do the best we can, and if we need to come back another day to do more, that's better than going too far. Are you with me so far? Okay, these are our boundaries to keep you on track. So A is for area, B is for boundaries. C stands for combination treatments. This is really important because patients will ask you, they say, Dr. Rich, should I do the fillers or should I do the lifting? What do you think is better for me? And the answer is, if you want your best result, we combine. Combining tightening volume and skin because you're systematically addressing all the ways the face changes. So combination treatment is always the best approach. Combining. Always the biggest advantage. Some patients say, I'm just going to do one treatment. What's the treatment I can do? One thing that's going to give me the best result, lifting or tightening, laser, Some say, I want no downtime. What's my best result with no downtime? Fillers. Fillers are great, but fillers are never going to give us a lift result, right? That makes sense? Fillers aren't going to give us a lift. They're wonderful. And lift and laser, we get wonderful outcomes, but we can do better when we combine. So if you understand this progression, right? Fillers, lift and laser, combination, it makes things more predictable, okay? So that's C for combination. D stands for different perspectives. We never see ourselves the same way that other people see us. but we're looking at the same face. We don't see it the same. Why? It's because when we look at other people, we look at them socially. We smile, we express ourselves, we animate. When we look at ourselves in the mirror, we don't look socially. We look critically. We're serious. We look for imperfections. We make faces. It can make us feel bad. Who has the magnifying mirror at home? Uh-oh, okay. Be careful. We get stuck in that magnifying mirror and we're just, oh no, right? So, different perspectives. We don't see ourselves the same way. We see ourselves socially. But we see others socially. We look at ourselves seriously. And we just want you to be happy. That's the only reason we're here. So, one more time, I want you to share a smile with your neighbor. Tell your neighbor, we just want you to be happy. Go and tell your neighbor, we just want you to be happy. 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 That's why we're here today. We just want you to be happy. Now, does anybody here have a cell phone? Anybody have a cell phone? Take your cell phone out. You know how to take a selfie? Just take a selfie real quick. Let's take a quick selfie, just really easy. Just get a selfie of yourself. Just a little selfie. Just grab a selfie, it's a little experiment. Just grab a selfie. There you go. Get a selfie smiling. And then when you get your selfie, just take a look. There you go. There's the selfies. We got some selfie pros in here. We get the selfies out there. Get those selfies. Now let's look at your picture. And I want you to, when you look at that picture, don't say anything, but just give yourself a score, 0 to 10, on, where are you and are you ready to do something? What does the selfie tell you, right? We're here to help you. Whatever, that selfie, that's a photo, right? It doesn't represent us in everything. Lighting matters, but that selfie is important for us to understand. Where are we? What do you want to do? So thank you for taking that little selfie, and that's just one of the ways. We take pictures in our office where we standardize the lighting that way. That is our blueprint, and we will base our treatments based on the pictures that you take. So thank you for taking that selfie. Okay, so we talked about your reason why. Now I'm going to talk about some of my patients' reasons why. So Judy, she's a family woman. She raised her family. They left the house. She did a good job. When the kids left the house, her parents needed her help. When they were ill, she was their caregiver for about 20 years. Has anybody here ever been a caregiver before? Right? Mm-hmm. Is that easy, being a caregiver? Hard for her to get a break. It was emotional. It was stressful. Judy did this for 20 years. And then when her parents had passed, her husband had fell ill. She was his caregiver for an additional 10 years. 30 years of being a caregiver. Judy made a confession to her family. She said, I'm not even sure who I am anymore. She felt like she had lost her identity. She was always living for someone else. Judy made a very important decision. She was looking in the mirror, and as she was looking in the mirror, she could see her aging changes. And as she would look, you know what she would do? She would pull like this, and she liked what she saw. Does anybody here ever do that? She liked what she saw. She came into our office. I will never forget meeting Judy for the very first time. You know how when you meet someone that they've been through tough things in life, that the little details don't tend to bother them, right? This was Judy. Kind, very respectful. She told me about her family. She told me about being a caregiver. And then we sat down in front of the mirror, and then I examined her. She showed me the area she wanted to address. I said, how does this look? She says, I like it. I said, some get a little less, some get a little more. We need to come back another day to do more. That's better than going too far. She says, I like your approach. She says, I don't need to look like a teenager. She just wants to look refreshed and still look like herself. And she brought her daughter along for moral support. So she gave her daughter the look over the shoulder. She said, what do you think? Her daughter, she said, you go for it, Mom. It's your time. It's your turn. Judy did a laser image lift. We did the upper eyelid treatment in the backs under the eyes. She did filler. You don't need to do surgery there to get a good result. So here are her results. So the jawline and the bags, we made a big improvement with the fillers, a big improvement in upper eyes, and you can see the bags, how they improve. She came on TV to demonstrate her results with us. Now, I love it when patients come back for follow-up. This morning, we were seeing follow-up patients. I love to ask them the question, what's the response been? What have people been saying? She says, they can't figure it out. They would say, Judy, did you change your hair? That outfit looks really good on you. Did you lose a little bit of weight? Living in Florida has been good for you. Yeah, they can't figure it out. They can't figure it out. She's got just a little turn on the angle, so the neck, the jawline, and the eyes. And so, I'm going to put them on speakerphone. They're going to want to hear this. Here we go. So Judy is just her energy, her confidence. Standing taller, wearing nice clothes, doing her hair up. And it made me realize, seeing this transformation, it's never too late for anyone to look on the outside the way we feel on the inside. It is my strong belief that everyone should feel good about how they look. And when I saw this in Judy, it just inspired me. I'm so grateful to her for letting us share her pictures. And she's still out there doing her thing, very proud of Judy, and very honored that she allows us to share her pictures, and share her story. So that was her reason why. Sally, what was Sally's reason why? This area here really bothered her, and she would be out with friends, and someone would take a picture, and she'd see the picture and say, what happened to my neck? I didn't know you were taking a picture. It really bugged her. So then when they'd take pictures again, she would have her friend stand behind her and grab her neck and pull it back like this. But then she started avoiding the camera. She says, there's no more pictures of me, because she just says, oh, no, I'm not taking a picture. So she comes in, she wanted to do a treatment. She didn't want to take a lot of downtime. So we did the local anesthesia lift, right? We give the relaxing medicine by mouth, numbing like at the dentist. Most patients say we're easier than the dentist. She did the treatment, and she came back, got a wonderful outcome, and super proud of her results. Now she doesn't have to hide from pictures anymore. And she would bring donuts to the office when she came in, so we loved seeing Sally. So that was her reason why. Yeah, so she did a laser and she did a lift together, combination of laser and lift at one time, Now this is Mary. Mary's reason why, this under her neck, it bothered her also, but these, she called those her puppet lines. They really bugged her. She came to a seminar similar to this. When we were done, she sat down, did her consult, put her plan together, and then I saw her. She says, Dr. Rich, I put my deposit down, I got my date. She's like, I'm gonna have it done. And we gave her a big hug. I was so excited for her. I said, Mary, I'm curious, how long have you been thinking about this for? She says, I guess I've been wanting to do this for 5 years now. I said, 5 years? What's been holding you back? She said, well, I was taking care of family, and she had a property she didn't know what she was going to do with, and she just got caught up and never could get it done. But something changed. She came to the seminar. What changed? She met our amazing team. So just look at them back there, Lady Barbara and Stephanie and Kim and Catherine. See, they're the ones. They're going to help you. If you feel stuck, they're the experts. I have so many thousands of patients. People have told me time and again, they say, oh, I will do it all. I can't, no. And then the day comes along and we're like, yes, today's the day. You only need one pathway to success. You'll be impressed how flexible the process can be. So those are our specialists. We'll put a plan together and we're going to put them to work to figure out what's going to work for you. We'll make it work. We're committed for that. So that we made it work for Mary, we can make it work for you. And you don't have to wait 5 years. This next before and after picture, this is very important. I want you to study this carefully because you need to know what you can expect, what you can achieve when you work with the best experience, the latest technology, the power of smile, all wrapped into one. This is what you can expect when you work with the very best.
Wow.
Didn't we do a great job? Maybe we can't go this far, but we'll go as far as we can. And if we need to come back another day and go too far, that's better. Better to come back another day rather than go too far. We will not go too far. Now, we meet a lot of people. So do you ever think we meet somebody this is what they're looking for. We have to have a talk. There's a limit. That's why we do the one-on-one. This is shared decision-making, right? So you can make your best decision. We can't go this far, but let's go as far as we can, and it's all about setting the right expectation. Okay, that's actually is my daughter. She's in 3rd grade in this picture, and as a 3rd grader, so adorable. She would invite me to her school for lunch. So I would take off of work, my bag lunch, and then I'd meet her in the cafeteria. She had the little cute pink lunch box with the juice boxes, and we meet her in the cafeteria. We gotta walk and sit in the right place by her friends. It was so adorable. My daughter, now, she's 21. She's off to college, independent young woman doing very well for herself. She does not invite me to lunch anymore. But we get to see her on the breaks, and I talk to her on the phone. So I'm very proud of her. She's doing very well for herself. Young, beautiful woman, and doing great. This is Melba. What was Melba's reason why to do a treatment? Melba was very active. She was in a clogging group, and one of her friends came in, and Melba said, Dale, you look amazing. What did you do? And Dale told her, nothing. And Melba kind of figured out that she didn't want to talk about it publicly. So she pulled her aside when she could. She said, you gotta tell me what you did. You look so good. Please. So she told her, she says, well, I went to a seminar with Dr. Rich. Melba was on a mission. She came right to our next seminar and signed up for the next spot we had available. She did her lift. Melba did a lift. She did upper and lower eyes, filler, touch-up treatment, laser resurfacing, and in her words, she says she never used to look at herself in the mirror. She would just get ready and out the door. But she said her friend looked so good, she's like, sign me up. I'm ready. I'm next. And so very proud of Melba. Melba is in her 70s here. Now she's in her 80s. She still comes out to our seminars and talks to patients. So we're really proud of Melba. And that was her reason why. Her friend did. She's like, okay, it's my turn now. Jeannie is a nurse. She wanted to improve her neck and jawline. Why did she come to us? Because she didn't want to go to a hospital where there's already sick people. This is the safest way to do the treatment. Safer than general anesthesia, safer than IV sedation. So Jeannie came through. We have a lot of medical personnel that came through. I have a lot of physicians and surgeons that come through as well. Safest way to do it. Harold, he's an educator. Why did he want to refresh his appearance? He had a lot of younger teachers that he was mentoring. And he didn't want them thinking he was old and irrelevant. And he wanted to look good for his partner. So he did a lift. People ask me, well, Dr. Rich, do I have to grow my hair long to hide the incisions? He doesn't grow his hair long. They hide very nicely. They're very difficult to see. So very proud of Harold. Mary, what was Mary's reason why? She wanted to treat her, she called her a turkey gobbler, right? She didn't like it. She's spending time with her grandson. She loved spending time with her grandson, and they would play, and they would sit on her lap, and they would read. So he's sitting on her lap, they're reading the book, and he's looking here, and he looks up to her like this. He's looking at the book, and he's looking up to her, and as they're reading, he goes like this. He starts to reach up, and then he's pulling back and forth. She's not enjoying this story anymore. And so she told me the story. I said, all right, let's get you taken care of. We did a lift. She got a nice improvement, but she wanted more. So we brought her back another day. We did more, and now she's happy. So if we need to come back another day to do more, that's better than going too far. And now she enjoys doing stories with her grandson because he's not doing this anymore. So now she's happy about that. These are my pictures. So this is me 7 years ago. And if you look, you see how the temples start to get hollow? And in through here, the eyes begin hollow. What I did, I put fillers through those areas. It looks natural. No one can tell that I did that. Also, my jawline. I reshaped my jawline to make it a little stronger. I love the results. It makes me feel so good when I see it. I'm like, hey. So that's what we love to do for our patients. And it always looks natural. The best fillers looks like you never had fillers. Now, aging is very predictable. No surprises, okay? We know what's coming. We get hollow in the temples. the hollows around the eyes, and the jawline gets weaker because we lose the bone. So we put the volume back. She looks very natural. Maddie's in her 70s here. And look how natural she looks. Nobody's looking at her saying, oh, you had a facelift. Oh, you had fillers. If you met her, you'd say she looks totally natural. But if you saw her here, you'd say, oh my goodness. So that's the right way to do it. So what we do, when I do a lifting procedure, many places you go, you get one choice, really. They say they'll do a lift. But we offer 4 different versions. This is what I found patients choose most often. So after I've done over 4,000 of these lifts, I've kind of come up with my own version of the lift based on my experience, what I've seen patients do best with. Now, I offer what's called our deep image lift. And many of you may be familiar with a deep plane lift. This is not a traditional deep plane. It's my version. I don't like to remove the salivary glands or the muscles. I think that's too much. So I leave those, and you don't need drains or staples. So if you think about it, this face is a mask. Skin mask, right? Under the skin mask, there's another mask. It's the muscle. So we lift up the skin, and then there's the muscle underneath. With the deep, I can lift that muscle layer and reposition it. So the deep enters the deep plane, releases more of the ligaments, and under the platysma muscle here, I remove some of the fatty tissue. That's the deep. So if patients tell me, they say, look, Dr. Rich, you've done 4,000. You do everything you need to do. I know I'm gonna look natural. Then they choose the deep, right? Now the deep, that's our $25,000 lift, right? People tend to be happier when they do more, so I offer it. Patients, oh, there we go. You got the little, that's okay. Put them on speakerphone, they don't want to hear this. Now, if somebody does not want the deep, the image lift doesn't take me as much time, and I still work in these blue areas here. I just don't utilize the deep plane as much, okay? So it takes a little less time, a little less artistry. Some people want the mid lift, where I work in the purple areas. Now, the deep, the image, and the mid, they still help our profile, but the mini lift doesn't help the profile so much. Some doctors won't do the mini because they say it just doesn't get a good result. We have a lot of patients, they're happy with the mini. How do you know if the mini is right for you? If someone says this, if they say, this doesn't bother, I like this, then a mini can do well. But if someone says, well, if I do a lift and I still have something here, I'm not going to be happy, then I don't recommend the mini. So the mini is just someone who wants the tuck, or the mid lift is a step above that. The image lift goes even bigger area, and the deep is when people say, Dr. Rich, I trust you, do everything you need to do. I know I'm going to look natural. So now I'm going to show you some pictures. Now, of course, everybody's result is different. Some get a little more, some get a little less. But now that you see these 4 levels, you'll get an idea of what we can do. So this is Mary again. So this is the deep. And you see how much she has here. Now, a lot of people think, you can't do this under local anesthesia. But we can. I'm just showing you we can, and we do. I was talking to a lot of these surgeons at this Vegas audience. They'll take 6 or 8 hours to do their facelift. I only need about 2 or 3 at most. So that's why we can do it under local anesthesia, because you get faster once you do a lot of them. But when they're taking 6 or 8 hours, it's taking a long time. It's a different procedure, right? So that is the deep plane image lift, my version of the deep. Okay. Now this is the deep, and we did do the laser at the same time. The deep and the laser, the deep and the laser. I had a patient do the lift and the laser, showed up in this room 7 days later. Everyone else thought they were another attendee. They passed the grocery store test. Right? They looked natural. Now, when you got close to them, you can see they had some healing changes, but they passed the grocery store test. They look socially presentable. So this is the deep. This is the deep. We have male patients that come through as well. The deep and that banding and the platysma muscle. Look at these areas if you're here. Okay. This is the deep for Linda, laser and filler combination treatment. The deep. We showed you Maddie before. This is the deep plus fillers and laser. When there's more tissue, I just need to do more. It takes me more time. So this is the deep. She's a teacher. This is the deep. This is the deep. This patient came from Minnesota with a snowbird. Went back home after she did her lift, and she came back the next year. I said, what'd your family say? Now, this is not a small change, right? What did her family say? She says, nobody said a thing. They couldn't figure it out. When it looks natural, they'll never know. They think you lost some weight. They think you're taking good care of yourself. So that's the power of doing these treatments the right way. Lucy's a former New York model. This is the deep, looks natural. So those are the deep. Now this is the image lift. Maybe a little less in the neck. Still looks very good for the neck and jawline. The image lift, a little bit less, and we also did her eyelids. The image lift and fillers. Image lift, so this is a step below the deep. Takes me a little less time. He's a former IBM executive. You see the band in the neck? He didn't like that. So he's got a great improvement there. The image lift, 6 weeks later. Incision difficulty. See, this is 7 days later after the image lift. In about a week, you can pass the grocery store test. You walk into the grocery, no one does a double take. 7 days later, upper eyes in the lift, upper eyes in the lift. Heidi, this is 6 days after upper eyes in the lift. Looks very natural. And she's on TV in the Tampa area. So some of my younger patients, like Instagram models, they come in, they have very little. And I say, okay, I can do a lift for you. It's not going to be a big change. She wanted this area right here. And it was starting to get a little loose through here, so she just wanted to refresh. And this. And she didn't want to wait for it to come down. She wanted to stay ahead. And these areas here just smooth and tighten things up. So as long as we set the right expectations, I can do patients if they want to do a little bit here. I call these our A+ students looking for extra credit. And that's fine. They want to stay ahead of things. This is the image lift. This is the image lift, the image lift, the image lift plus laser. Okay. Image lift, I showed you Heidi, image lift. This is the mid. So the mid is kind of like doing a mini, but I'm doing some stitching down here. Because some people, they just don't need as much, right? And she had very little, so she did the mid, the mid, the mid. It doesn't get as much contouring, but did well. The mid, the mid, the mid. So I can show you patients all day long. This is the mid for Delana. The mid plus the laser resurfacing. See the texture of the skin. Sue did the mid plus the laser, and Frederica did the mid. This is the mini. So if somebody says, I don't care about this, when I was talking to Al, he wanted to start dating again, and so he wanted to do a lift. I said, you should probably do the deep or the image lift, maybe the mid. What does he say? Do the mini. He's like, I'll be fine with the mini. And whatever you choose, I'll go for the gold. I'll go for the very best that I can. He did the mini. It's impressive. I'm very happy with the result. But if you look, he still has something there. He's okay with that. So the mini is right for the right people. Bobby, this was almost 15 years ago I did his. He did a mini, just a little mini. And some people, they get more than what we expect. This is a mini. But if you want the mini, I can do it. This is about you. Once you have a plan, you'll know what's right for you. Because my job is that you know your options. So let me ask you a question. Have you seen some results that you like so far? Would you be happy if you had a result similar to what you've seen? So at this point, I like to go through, patients tell me, they say, Dr. Rich, I would love to do it, but the most common things people tell me, what's holding them back, I'm going to go through them. And if you hear something that's holding you back, you let us know. You'll be amazed how flexible the process can be. People say, well, I'm going to talk to my spouse or my partner, and I agree, you should do that. There's two basic ways you can tell your partner. One is you can say, I met this great doctor and this team. They're doing a treatment. I really like to do it. What do you think about it? The other way you ask is, I met this really great doctor and this great team. I'm going to do a lift. What do you think the best way is to do this? Whoever has the most conviction will win this conversation. And normally, in most relationships, there's always something that one of us really enjoys that the other, they're okay, they don't need it. And same goes for the other. I love my wife. She's the woman of my dreams, but there are things she loves. It's not for me, but I love that she enjoys it. And there's things for me that are great for me, but she loves that I enjoy it. So whoever has the most conviction will answer that question. Now, there is always a way. I tell you, I've seen it all. There is always a way, no matter what. Some of you say, well, it's the finances. When you sit down with my team figures out a way to make the finances work. It's amazing, all the things people spend money on nowadays. My wife and I, we bought a bed. We make a payment on it. It was just easy. I got a daughter in college, and we're doing all these things. So we make a payment. If we need to make a payment, whatever we need to do, you let my team know, they'll figure something out for you, okay? We don't let the money hold you back. There's always a way. Some of you have busy schedules. You have mahjong and pickleball and clubs, and if you're busy in your schedule, we have no downtime treatments that we can offer for you. And some of you are allergic to fear or allergic to pain. If you watch how many of you watch our videos on Facebook or Instagram or social media? And do you guys know about TikTok? Do you believe it? I get patients on TikTok that come to me, right? It's amazing, but it's growing. So if you're allergic to fear or allergic to pain, we will treat you like gold. You're going to do so well. In my family, when the little ones, the cousins and nephews and nieces, when they need stitches, I get the phone call, right? And I take care of them, no tears. So if we can take care of them, we'll take care of you as well. You're going to do great. We take the fear out of things. There is always a way. I will tell you, there's always, always, always a way. It is such an honor to be a part of our patients' lives. And today, because people are living longer, children are getting to enjoy their grandparents and great-grandparents. And the legacy of families is growing like never before. So it really is an honor to be here. What we're going to do now is we're going to have our models come up. Ladies, why don't you come up, and we've just got a little bit of time. Let's give our models a big hand for coming out today. We value our models' time. We pay for them to come out, for their gas money, and for them to have a nice meal. So we've got just a few minutes. If we just keep it brief, if you tell us, what was it that inspired you? Jen's been working with us for 14 years now, going on 15. What was it that inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment, Jen?
It was early in 2015, and I had a group of friends in the neighborhood and I that were getting ready for a girls' night out. We hadn't done it forever, so I spent a lot of effort getting ready. And as I'm walking out of the house, I glanced in a big mirror in our foyer with the light shining in, and I saw an old, haggard woman looking back at me. So it's at that moment I realized, no matter how hard I tried, I just wasn't going to look good anymore. That evening I was talking to my closest girlfriend, and I said, man, I need a refresh. I'm losing my self-confidence. First thing she did is look at me and said, well, what are you waiting for? She went on to offer some great advice. She said, think of it this way. Today is not a dress rehearsal for the rest of your life. Today is the first day of the rest of your life. That someday out there is today. Her words were a defining moment for me. Shortly after that, Dr. Rich did a facelift procedure for me, and I absolutely love the result. It was very empowering. He did two things for me. Gave me a beautiful facial refresh, and secondly, I had a huge psychological lift. I now held my head up higher and was proud of how it looked. As Dr. Rich mentioned, I've worked with him for going on 15 years. It's been a lot of fun over the years. And consequently, I've seen hundreds and hundreds of happy patients. I, too, am definitely one of them.
Thank you so much for sharing. Cheryl, thanks for coming out today. Good to see you. So, can you share with us what inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment?
What inspired me is exactly what Dr. Rich said. Every mirror that I went by, I was lifting up my face. When we were driving in the car, I was lifting up my face. And I was like, why do I keep doing this? I just need to have it done permanently. I started looking into a cosmetic procedure and went to quite a few plastic surgeons, and I didn't like what I heard. You gotta go in the hospital, you're gonna have to be put to sleep, you're gonna have a lot of downtime. I was very leery of the pain also. So, just like you, I saw one of these seminars, and my husband and I came, and I loved what Dr. Rich said. I don't have to be put to sleep. I don't want to go to a hospital where everybody's sick. And I was going to look natural. And I did look natural. And I love my lift. I had that 5 years ago. I'm very happy with it. Thank you very much.
How young you are.
I'm 73 last week.
Thank you so much, Cheryl. Mary, thank you for coming out. Everyone looks so lovely today. Can you share with us what inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment?
Yes, I went through a lot of ups and downs in life. I work in the medical field, so I was trying to find a way to fit into my heavy schedule. I researched. I didn't even have time to come to one of these seminars. But I really was inspired by Dr. Rich. I looked at the seminars online, and I had some time off, and it was during COVID actually, and I'm really, really happy with my results. A lot of my friends because of the mask situation, when they saw that when they came back, they were like, they looked, but they really didn't know. I did have a lot of sagging. I had deep bags under my eyes and sagging of the eyes, and I fixed it all, and I'm really, really happy. 67.
Marty, thanks for coming out. I've known Marty for many years. She's a family friend. My brother's a dentist, and Marty used to work with my brother David. And when I went to visit him, Marty was there, so we connected then. So that was 17 years ago, because I knew him, because my son was just born at that time, and he's going to be turning 18 this month. So Marty, can you share what inspired you to have a cosmetic treatment done?
17 years ago when I met Dr. Castellano, I had seen him on TV that morning before I went to work, and I saw some of his after pictures, and when he came into the closed office, I just walked up to him and said, I want to be one of your after pictures. And I went in within a month and had the surgery done, and it's been 17 years of enjoying life. I have so much more confidence. I love the way I look, I love the way I feel, I love the way I act, because I don't act my age. And it's just really, truly changed my life. I have dozens of patients that I've taken care of and got acquainted with and had surgery. And they're all my best friends, and we have this little private club for Dr. Castellano. So we all love our results, we hang out together, and everybody that I have come in contact with that's had surgery is happier than I am. So it's been great. I love my results and love growing up gracefully. And I'll be 80.
Thank you so much, Marty. I'm so proud of them. They're like family, and when we come out to the seminars, we really do have a good time because they're wonderful people, meeting wonderful people like you as well. So, as we wrap things up here, I'd like to share with you that, the most common question I get, people ask me, they say, well, Dr. Rich, can you help me look younger, look refreshed, and look natural? And the answer is yes. So what we do for our patients, as we're on this journey in life, there is a window of opportunity to do a treatment. We don't want to wait too long, because the more aging changes there are, it's harder to get a good result. It's never too late, we can always do something. So to take advantage of this window of opportunity, you need a consultation. We call it our facial beauty plan. And we're going to start doing that here in just a few minutes. Now this plan, it takes you 15 to 30 minutes to put together. It will change the next 15 to 30 years of your life. I speak from experience. I love seeing what it does for our patients. It is wonderful to be on this journey with them. So very quickly, my team's going to set this up. And even though there's a lot of people here, it doesn't take that long. And I'm going to leave you with this story. I was in my training as a resident, and you were on call every third night. So we didn't have a lot of time, and I was single at the time. We would hang out with friends, and they said, you're on call one night, you're up all night. The next night you sleep, and that night they say you can study. Well, we would study, but I was single, so we would go out with friends. We wanted to meet people. We're with our group of friends, and one night, this woman comes out and joins the group. She was beautiful. I said, I gotta talk to her. I started talking to her. We had some energy and some chemistry. I'm like, this is great. I can't wait to see her again. When I saw her the next time, she wanted to talk to me. She saw me talking to someone else. She didn't like that. On top of that, my boss, my chief resident, real handsome guy, he started talking to her, and I said, this doesn't look good. And I said to myself, I better make a move here. Now is my time. I started calling all of her friends, let them know I was a good guy, getting to know me, and I was persistent. I would call and call and call. And finally, she took my call, and that was all I needed. Just to get in there and show her what a good guy I am. And I'm talking about my amazing, lovely wife, Irene. She's the woman of my dreams. That one decision changed my life in so many ways, transformed me, made me into a better person. And it's my honor to be here to help you on your journey. It's never too late for any of us to do the right thing, to invest in ourselves, to look on the outside the way we feel on the inside. I believe everyone should feel good about how they look. So I look forward to talking to you soon. Thank you so much for sharing your smile, and thank you for your attention.